Hi guys, this is Mark at Optimum Physio. And if you're like me and you do a lot of cycling, sometimes certain muscles get tight, back definitely gets tight. So I'm gonna go over 4 top exercises I'm gonna recommend for stretching out the body before getting on a long bike ride. Okay, so we're gonna use a bike to help us with our balance. Okay, we're gonna keep one hand on the seat and one hand on the handlebar. And what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and drive our hips towards the bicycle while we're looking up. And what this does, guys, it's going to give your lower back a good stretch. When we're on the bike, we're flexed. We're not worried about flexion because that's the position we're on anyways. But this will do the opposite motion. We hold this for about 20 seconds. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the hips away from the bike. And we're going to hit these hamstrings right back here, keeping the knees straight. Okay? We're also going to give these flexors, your shoulder flexors, your chest, pectoral muscles, give them a good stretch. A lot of times we're on the bike and they're just hunched over and they get very tight. So it's getting yourself almost like a double stretch here on your chest and again here on the hamstrings. Okay, we'll hold that for about 20 seconds. We're going to move our body back. Again, second time around. Now we're going to feel more of a stretch here on these lower segments here in your lower back. Okay, holding that there for about 20 seconds. And then we're going to move once more to our hamstring stretch and shoulder stretch. You should be able to go down just a little further. Like I said, these muscles get very tight when we're on long bike rides. Okay? Moving on to the third stretch, hip flexors. Very active when we cycle. A lot of times they get very, very tight. We're going to go ahead, keep one hand on the seat, and we're going to tuck in our pelvis, and we're going to drive our hips to the floor. And what this does, it puts our lower back in the right position, puts our hips in the right position to stretch our hip flexors. Okay? We do that for about 20 seconds, and then we come up, and then we do the other side as well. Okay? Switching our stance, keeping the outside leg out in front. We're going to tuck in our hips and drive our hips to the ground, and isolating that hip flexor and getting the stretch that we need. Again, when we cycle, that muscle is very, very active and it becomes very, very tight. Over time, what can happen is they get so tight they start actually driving or position your pelvis in an anteriorly tipped position, and it creates chronic lower back pain. So you can actually use this as preventative stretches as well for lower back pain. And let's do that one more time on the other side as well. Last time, remember guys, one hand is on the bike for balance, and the outside leg is out, kicked out forward, okay? And the leg that we're stretching is the back leg in front of the thigh, okay? All right, and we're gonna come back to standing. Our last stretch is a very important muscle. It's a muscle that goes right on top of the sciatic nerve. If this muscle gets too tight, it'll put a big pinch on your sciatic nerve and give you some pain down your leg. Oftentimes, when we're on the bike, this muscle gets very, very tight as well. So what we're going to do is keep one hand here on the seat and the other hand on the handlebars. We're going to go ahead and hit that brake so the bike doesn't move. Get in a figure 4, and we're going to drive the leg that we're standing on. We're going to drive that hip to the ground, okay? And that's going to give that stretch to that muscle. And it's basically the muscle in the rear, your butt muscle basically. And it's just giving it a good stretch. Okay, we're going to do the other side. We're going to go ahead and do a figure 4. Keeping one hand here on the bike. And we can also we can put an elbow on the seat as well to kind of bring your body closer to the bike if you're having a hard time keeping it at arm's length. Okay, driving that foot that's on the ground, driving that hip down to the ground. Good, coming back up. All right, and we'll do it 2 times on each side, 20, 30 seconds at a time. Okay. So just to recap, the first exercise was trunk extension for the lower back, looking up. The second exercise, going forward for the hamstrings. Third exercise, hip flexors, sitting on the side of the bike. And then the last one is going to be figure 4 for your piriformis stretch. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks.